Hey guys, this is Ashwin, and today we're going to talk about division by zero. You might have heard that whenever we divide a number by zero, its answer is undefined or it's infinity. But why is it undefined? If you really think about it, it makes perfect sense. Now we know that any number multiplied with zero is zero. For example, if we write 100 into zero, it's going to be zero. This is because multiplication is repeated addition. And now this basically means 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus how many ever zeros? 100 times. And now we all know that 0 plus 0 plus 0, any number of times it's going to be 0. So this is how we get 100 into 0 is equal to 0. Now if we think about division, it's literally repeated subtraction. So we say that division is repeated subtraction. Now it's not exactly repeated subtraction. If I take an example as 12 divided by 3, this means that you have to subtract 3 from 12 n number of times till you get 0 or less than 0. So this is going to be 12 minus 3 minus 3 minus 3 minus 3, which is going to be 0. Now you'll notice that 3 subtracted 4 times from 12 to get an answer as 0. So this 0 is called the remainder and this 4 is the quotient. So how we write it is 12 divided by 3 is equal to 4 as the quotient with a remainder of 0. Now in similar fashion, if we had a number that is not completely divisible, so for example 5 divided by 2, now we're going to follow the same procedure over here, and that is going to be 5 minus 2 minus 2. And now you could see that 5 minus 2 minus 2 is equal to 1, but then we need to be sure that it's going to reach below 0 in the next minus 2. So if we subtract another 2 from 5, then we're going to get 5 minus 6, which is minus 1. So this minus 1 confirms that we have reached our limit and we should only take these two 2's. We should discard this 2. So that's basically 5 divided by 2 is is written as 5 minus 2 minus 2, which is 1, and this one is the remainder. And you can see that 2 is subtracted 2 times, so this 2 times is going to be our quotient. Now let's get to the main topic we were talking about, that is division by 0. Let's take an example as 7 divided by 0. If we follow the same procedure, then we're going to have 7 minus 0 minus 0 minus 0 how many ever times till it reaches 0 or less. Now we know that if we keep on subtracting 0 from 7, we're never going to reach 0 or below 0. So that means that we're going to subtract 0 infinity number of times. It's never going to stop. And that is how we get 7 divided by 0 is equal to infinity, because this is the quotient. Now if you think of the remainder, if you really think about it, then you're going to have this procedure going on, and this is always going to be equal to 7. So that means 7 is going to be the remainder. And that's your answer. So any number divided by 0 is equal to infinity, or you can call it undefined, with a remainder of that number, which is 7 over here. Now if you really go deep and think more, you're going to realize that what's 0 divided by 0? Now we know that any number divided by itself is equal to 1, because let's say 11 divided by 11, this is going to be 11 minus 11, and you can see that we've already reached 0 here, and that's our remainder. So we've reached a remainder of 0, and 11 is subtracted one time, and 1 is our quotient. So any number divided by itself is going to be 1. So you might think that 0 divided by 0 is also going to be 1. But this is not going to be the case. So if we follow the same procedure, then this is going to be written as 0 minus 0, and you'll realize that we've already reached our remainder, that's 0. And you'll notice that we've subtracted 0 only one time, and hence 1 is going to be our quotient. But we could think about it in a different way, and we could also write 0 divided by 0 as 0 minus 0 minus 0 minus 0 any number of times, because that answer is always going to be 0, and you're always going to get a remainder of 0 no matter how many times you subtract 0 from 0. And that literally means infinity times, or it's undefined, and that's going to be our quotient. And that brings us to the conclusion that any number divided by 0, including 0, is going to be undefined. So any number divided by 0 is going to be infinity, or it's also called undefined. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you for watching.